Today, I'm proud to announce that we are introducing the limit.
Speaker McCarthy unveiled a ransom note holding our economy hostage.
Save, Grow Act of 2023. President Biden has a choice. Come to the table and stop playing partisan political games. Or cover his ears, refuse to negotiate, and risk bumbling his way into the first default in our nation's history.
While President Biden is fighting to clean up toxic pollution and lower costs through clean energy tax credit, Speaker McCarthy unveiled a ransom note holding our economy hostage. It's a 320-page plan to kill jobs, fill our cities with smog, and give asthma to our children. The proposal would repeal the Inflation Reduction Act's green energy tax credit, sending thousands of jobs back to China. It would make it easier for oil companies to use toxic chemicals that cause severe burns, damage people's eyes, and quite literally melt bones. It would severely weaken the Clean Air Act, sending us back to the times when cities across the country filled with heavy smog that dirties our air and poisons the lungs of our children. It's no surprise that over a dozen health and medical organizations, including the American Lung Association and the Children's Environmental Health Network, oppose these dangerous proposals. Speaker McCarthy, extreme MAGA proposals would be a climate and health disaster that President Biden won't allow on his watch. Speaking of earlier this week, Speaker McCarthy redoubled his threat to default and hold the American economy hostage unless he can slash programs that the American people, including our nation's veterans, rely on every single day. While the president's budget honors our country's sacred obligation for care for America's veterans, their families, caregivers, and survivors, Speaker McCarthy's proposal would cut these critical programs by 22% and threaten critical services for veterans. Today, the Department of Veterans Affairs has put out analysis of the impact Speaker McCarthy's 22% cuts would have on those who have bravely served our nation. The extreme MAGA cuts he has put forward would mean 30 million fewer veteran outpatient visits, meaning veterans who need cancer screenings or mental health services would be unable to get an appointment, eliminate 50,000 veterans housing vouchers, putting veterans at greater risk of homelessness, take away vital food assistance from older veterans, the VA's ability to care for the final resting place of veterans who lost their life serving this country. The Congressional Republican plan is to threaten veterans' health, food, housing, and even grave sites for brinksmanship over the debt ceiling. Speaker McCarthy and House Republicans should take those threats off the table, just as they did 3 times in the last administration.